1. Welcome to Android App Addicts. I will look at the camera in a second once I focus my attention that way. This is Android App Addicts, the show where we talk about Android apps. Myself and 3 other co-hosts come on the show. We put all our apps in a big virtual pile and talk about them, sort them, criticize them, ridicule them, praise them, and many more verbs that we do to them. Joining us on today's show is, I always say something stupid in the beginning. Today's show, we have Door-to-Door Geek, Steve McLaughlin from doortodoorgeek.com. You should go there, by the way, because it's a wholly changed site. It's basically a brain dump of Door. So as opposed to his computer repair business, it is now everything you love about Door in one tidy little package on his site. What's up, Door?
Thank you, man. And I was going to say, now that I have my services site on a subdomain or subfolder and not on my main page, I'm actually getting more business than ever. So,
so weird.
I don't really understand that. And anyone who wants to contribute to the credibility appearance of my site, header graphics are appreciated. I've had a couple people now send me in graphics. It has to be, I believe, 1,600 pixels wide, 200 tall. Come on, come on.
There you go.
And you'll get credit. You'll get credit, absolutely.
Credit in the form of, what are we talking here?
Down the little bottom end of the graphic, they can put email address or website or...
We want cash, Door. What is this credit you speak of?
Okay, I'll send them a check. It's in the mail.
Okay. Russ Renner's joining us today from thetechiegeek.com. Yo, Russ, what's going on?
Hey, Steves. What's up?
It's a Steve's and a Josh.
2 Steves and a Josh. I think it's the Linux Basics version of Android App Addicts tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is true. I'm outnumbered, guys. You better not talk about Linux. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, actually, I guess what Android is Linux. Anyway, Russ, thanks for joining us tonight.
No problem. Happy to be here.
And we got Josh Williams Skyping in. Where are you calling from again, Josh?
Idaho.
Idaho. How's it going up there?
Oh, it's going good. Spring has finally arrived.
That sounds nice. Thank you very much for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
All right, Door, start us off. Then we will do Russ, then Josh, then me. Go for it.
Okay, first thing I got to mention is a game that I don't really go out of my way to play games on my phone. I really don't, because, it's like 5 minutes later and something wears off and I'm not playing it anymore. There's only been a few games I've played for even more than 2 or 3 days. This game is like reaching into my pubescent mind and addicting me in a way like back when I was a kid. This game is called Trial Extreme Demo. There is a paid version. It's only 99 cents. But of course, I'm talking about the free version. And the free version does a pretty good job of filling that gap.
What's it called again, Door?
Trial Extreme XTREME Demo.
Yeah.
It's by Galapagos. Great names. And the only way I can explain this game is if someone is old enough to have gray hair, might remember on the old school in television system, a game simply called Motocross. And to be honest, there's a lot of similarities in my mind between this and that. Okay.
Graphics can't be a factor.
Absolutely not. In the simplicity, you're just a bike. You're going up hills, you're jumping, and you're landing. But there's actually a lot of mechanics that can go into that. If anyone's played Excite-a-Bike, they know there's things you can do to extend how far you go out and things like that. And then there's optimized like places where you should land because of hazards in front of you and stuff like that.
So like velocity and gravity and physics come into play.
Right, and like how hard you pull back on the steering, on the handlebars or push forward kind of thing. There is no turning in this game, so that is taken out of the equation, which means you literally can play this game with one hand while you eat a burger with the other hand or something. I don't know.
How do you control the forward and back? Is it just tilting the phone?
Yeah, you basically hold the phone landscape, and you basically, like, you're looking at your father playing the Commodore 64 back in the 80s. When he would go to the right, his whole body would go to the right. So it's kind of like that. When you're holding the game, you look like that, because and then you lean back and forth, and you lean back and forth.
Right, right.
On my phone, the accelerometer is a touchy, to where it doesn't take much. It doesn't take much degree off of center to get a good amount of change in how hard you're pulling. But it's definitely doable. It's workable. It's not a stopper at all. If you really sit down with this game, you can pull off some pretty insanely long jumps and do some things that when you first start playing the game, you think you cannot do. 5 stages in this free version. First stage, almost a flat track kind of thing with a couple little jumps. You can't get past that stage. Just uninstall the game. It's something like it. Second stage is a couple cool jumps. Third stage, very similar to the second stage with 1 or 2 little differences. Third stage is where they start to get you, where there's a quarter pipe that goes into a half pipe, and you have to make it over the ridge to get on the other side, and there's other things going on. It makes the game challenging, and it's simple, not a whole bunch of different stuff to hit and things to do and blowing on the screen and balancing on your forehead or anything stupid. It's just gas and leaning, but it's good. It's a little hard. I like it.
Very cool.
Yeah. The next app, honestly, is I'm listing because since I've changed over DoorDoorGeek.com, for simplicity's sake, and because the format is a blog, that's the stipulation, I chose WordPress. If I want to do anything over above just a basic blog, I never use WordPress, okay? All I want to do, post stories, move on. So I picked WordPress, and then there's an Android application where it didn't used to let you connect to your own domain. Before, you could only connect to the genuine WordPress.org or whatever. Now you can actually connect to your own domain via this. And when you're on a web page, share WordPress, and you're halfway through creating a post.
So it's WordPress created this app.
Yep, and it has a lot of it's virtually everything I could think of that's in the interface when you actually create a post.
Like the dashboard.
Right. You have your tags, you have your categories, you can upload media.
Wow, this is perfect for your blog, man.
Yeah, and when I'm seriously on my little tomato technique, I can't remember what it's called again, of break and not break, this is a perfect way to do my break.
Exactly.
Right, because if you look at the date timestamps on the postings, like 90% of them are between 8:30 and 5 o'clock.
There had to be some explanation of how you get done as much as you get done.
Yes, it's true, but I'm very productive at work. I have no problem in saying I still do 3 times as much as the average person there.
I believe it.
And I'm just leaving it at that. Okay. Next app, it's kind of a niche application. You have to be root. Okay. Number 1. But you don't have to be ROMmed or not ROMmed to use this. And here's the explanation why. It's called root uninstaller. And even if you have Liberty, I don't know about Cyanogen, but Fission, Apex, Dark Slide, any ROM I've tried before, there's always applications they do not want you to remove. Sometimes it's like they have a third-party email application installed as the default instead of Gmail, or vice versa. Or if you just have your your rooted device, you have a crappy NASCAR or Blockbuster application that you would really like to get rid of. As long as you're rooted, this application can not only back up the application, but it can uninstall it.
Let me check it out here. Sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
Neat. Root uninstaller. Just punch it up in the Android market. There it be.
Yeah, I'm hooked on it because it just serves its purpose, serves it perfectly. You just open it up. You can do a filter by name or by category. Scroll down, find the app you don't want. You click it, and then you say grant access, which means grant the operating system the access and ability to modify this locked application. Then you hit backup. Wait a second, hit uninstall, and it keeps the APK file on your SD card.
Nice.
So if you really need it back, you just go back to your SD card, click the APK, it will install, and you're ready to roll.
Very cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one.
I love it. And I got one other thing that I'm not going to talk about because Josh is the guy that told me about it. And if he wants to talk about it, I ain't stepping on any toes.
All right. There we go.
Even though he lives 2,000 miles from me.
All right. Let's head on over to Russ then, right?
Cool.
Okay.
Go for it, Russ.
All right. I had a full 30 minutes to prepare for tonight's show.
Now, whose fault is that, Russ? You need to prepare before the show. You need to prepare way ahead of time.
Prepare for Steve to ask me last minute.
Don't worry about
the
it.
Show.
Okay.
But so I've been using Droid X since October 2010, and one of the first apps I got, which I still use, is called Astrid Simple Task Recorder, and it's just a to-do list. I know you've talked about them on the show before, but it's simple yet powerful, and it syncs to Google Tasks. I just like that it's so easy to add, remove, prioritize tasks, and then they sync up with Google Tasks, and you can have it set that it'll only sync like when Wi-Fi's on or whatever. So it's good app.
What's it called? Astrid?
Simple Task. I think if you're looking for it in the market, it's just Astrid. That's ASTRID Tasks.
Yeah, it's Astrid Task / to-do list.
Gotcha. There it is. It's got like a little gum. Looks like a little squished piece of gum guy.
Yep.
That's pretty cool. Very cool.
That's it.
Neat.
So I use it to not only record to-do lists, but some things like store web keys and things like that I'll need rapid access to from time to time.
Cool.
So
good one, Russ.
Yeah.
What else you got?
The other app is the makers of Lacy drives have a Dropbox, or I should say Dropbox-esque
Dropbox
utility. Homage the door, we'll call it Dropbox. And it's called Wuala.
Spell it?
Wuala. And this past week, they came out with an Android app for it. If you do not yet have a Wuala account, don't run out and get one. If you go to the techiegeek.com and find the search box, I believe you'll find a referral link. And if you use that referral link, you'll get an extra gig of storage. Wuala only gives you 1 gig to Dropbox 2 gig, but if you use the referral link, you'll get 2 gigs.
Where's the referral link on your site?
You'd have to go to the techiegeek.com, scroll down about maybe 2/3 of the way down on the right, you'll find a search box. And let's see, if you type Wuala in that search box, let's see if it comes up. Okay, I found a link to it.
Strange.
I will send you.
Don't worry about it, man.
Anybody who already has it can get their own referral code. but I will give you one to put in the show notes.
Okay.
I'm sure we'll have show notes, right?
Eventually.
So, but the Android app it works great, and I'm cheap, so instead of like buying more space on Dropbox, I have a number of these free Dropbox-esque accounts, and this one I've been using for just keeping a copy of my most special pictures.
Yeah.
The ones that I would really be devastated if I lost.
Sure.
So, and the other thing, which is important to me and everyone else on this show, I'm sure, is that it's cross-platform and it works with Linux, Mac. Who cares about Mac, and Windows? So it's cross-platform, though.
Okay. Thank you.
Love the cross-platform.
And I'll add one more plus to it. It's actually safe, unlike Dropbox.
Safe, secure.
Yeah, Dropbox really kind of, in hindsight, to a lot of people, isn't really that safe or secure.
Interesting.
They own your private key and can decrypt all of your data anytime they want. And if I know, let's say, Russ's email address that he used for his Dropbox account, I could technically just modify my Dropbox install without knowing his passwords, and I might have to brute force it for 3 months, but I technically could get into his Dropbox because there's no secret hash, no special sauce, no saved password on the Dropbox install on the computer. Yeah, not cool.
Doing.
Scott needs to know about that.
I don't know if he's using it anymore. You guys got him on Crash Plan.
Oh, well.
I don't know.
Good
He might
man.
be using. He likes. He didn't. He just mentioned last show he did like Crash Plan, but we'll see.
Right. Well, a lot of people like Dropbox, and it's hard to badmouth it. But I know this product, if you're at all concerned about safety or security, you need to look at this.
Good tip, Dor. It's the kind of stuff we need to know. Anything else, Russ?
That's it for the apps that I have.
Very cool. Well, thank you. And if that, I would like to also add to your disclaimer at the beginning that I did literally get you minutes before the show. Same with Josh. So I don't expect you guys to be fully prepared. I'm very appreciative you came on the show.
Right. Well, I gotta say, Astrid, to be honest, was one of the things I saw, but I'm happy to finally hear somebody mention about it because I've learned to not trust search results all the time, and I like hearing people comment on applications, not text that could have been written at anybody or a bot.
Exactly. I'm with you. That's why podcasts are nice, aren't they?
Indeed.
Josh, you still with us?
Yeah, man, I'm here.
Oh, good. All right, what apps do you have for us tonight?
Well, actually, I got one is actually a ROM,
Okay.
and it's one I've had two Android phones now. One was the original Moto Droid. I got it when it first came out, and that actually I gave it to my wife as kind of a Wi-Fi only MP3 player. But on that one, I went through, I don't know, I literally lost track how many ROMs I went through. Probably anywhere from 20 to who knows how many. But I finally settled on Steel Droid, and it's put out by Chevy Cam 94.
Chevy Cam 94?
Yeah, usually if you go to droidforums.net /forum/steel-droid, you'll find the forum on it. And he now has a cyanogen-based ROM and an AOSP ROM. And I ran that one for probably 3 or 4 months before I finally switched to the Droid X. And that, in my opinion, is the fastest, slickest, cleanest little ROM. It even has a script in there. You can go into the terminal emulator, and I believe I could probably run on my wife's phone and really screw it up for her, but I believe it's Make Minimal or Make Minimalist, and it rips out everything. I mean, it'll even rip out your email app. So you kind of have to be careful with it. I tried it once, and I ripped everything out of there. And the phone, I mean, your phone has never been so fast.
Really?
It's amazing. But
Wow.
That much of a difference, huh?
oh yeah, even without doing that Make Minimalist, it's definitely the fastest, probably definitely the best ROM I ever run. Last one I installed is I gave her this phone, and I put on the Steel Droid 6.3 Gingerbread, and it's cyanogen based. And I was kind of leery about it because cyanogen, I mean, it's really nice. They're beautiful. They do good work. But I've had some errors in the past with them kind of being a little heavy. But I don't know what he does that's different. And he doesn't claim to be a super programmer or anything, but it's still just lightning fast.
That's amazing.
And even on this one, it's got the pull down has a nice little graphic on it. It's got the Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, all those little widgets up in the pull down. And then you go into the app drawer, and it's got the ADW style slider, so it goes to the side. But also has a recent. It'll show you the running apps inside of there. So instead of having to go into your settings or something else, you can just go into the running apps inside of the app drawer. It'll show you what's running. But I mean, it's got transparency for what it does. I'm just really shocked how fast it is. So,
quick question: is this only for the original Droid?
It is right now. I sent him. I was talking to him a while back, so I told him I was going to get the Droid X. I asked him about doing a Droid X ROM. He says, he just doesn't have a Droid X right now, and he can't afford to get one. So I was trying to get a bunch of guys to donate to him. And if that guy could get a Droid X ROM out, I would drop everything and run that ROM because I know it'd be fast.
Well, then, Steve C., we got to get him hooked up with Jonathan Nadeau's cell phone thingy.
Yes.
Oh.
I can't remember the name of it, or else I'd say it.
Mobile Tide.
Mobile Tide. Steve C., you're the man.
I'll get a hold of him. That'd be great. That guy, he does a good job. Really good job.
Definitely, man. It's amazing. A guy puts out such a nice product, and can't afford to get a Droid X when he definitely should have one. Like, this is the one guy you want to have one.
Exactly. I mean, the funny thing is, you go to the guy's site, and he just has a computer repair business. Unless something has changed in the past little while, he just has computer repair and tinkers with the droid. So he's not, he doesn't have a whole crew. And I think Jay Rummy and D-Rod, those guys are all helping him now. That's how he got that Steel Droid 6.3 out. They helped him with that one. So he's got some good guys helping him out now. I tried to talk him into getting on with the Liberty guys just as a learning thing so he can get into the Droid X, but he's got a life.
Unfortunately for us.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Steel Droid. All right, we'll check it out.
Steel Droid. Chevy Cam 94. Check him out.
Awesome. What else you got? Anything?
Yeah, the other one I got, I actually sent this is what Dora's talking about, and I haven't had any time to really dig into it yet, so hopefully you've had a chance, Dora, but the Magical ROM Kitchen. Let's see, I'll grab the link here.
Of course, Dora had a chance to dig into it. What do you think he did at work today?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Unfortunately, I had to work.
Oh, man. What's it called?
Anyhow, what this does, it's the ROM Kitchen.
Okay.
Just basically right in this little forum posting here, and Dora threw the wiki link in there. It says this is an online ROM creator that give you an easy way to generate custom ROMs, create a custom ROM from your mobile browser, stable and fast base ROMs. I mean, actually, when I first came across this, I really thought it was a joke. I didn't believe it was really what it is, and I'm really looking forward to getting into and digging what it is. But see, if you go to the ROM Kitchen, it's ROM Kitchen all one word .org/m for their mobile site. On the first page you come to, just says ROM Kitchen, Doc and Stefano Powered, whoever they are. But it's got an about, change log, contact, and then ROM generator. Yeah, on your phone, you click on ROM generator, and you can go base ROM. You click on that, and they have, a new XWJS8 9.9.5 wipe. And I could be wrong, but that might be real close to what the Liberty 2 is on, because that looks similar to the numbering. Oh crap, backed out too far. You have kernel choices there. You have the Super Curio kernel, Hardcore kernel. You've got, let's see, it's going a little bit slow. I mean, their site must be getting hammered.
Las Tufos kernel, Fugu mod kernel.
Yep, you got her. Dude. Another thing I saw that was cool is you can generate your own update.zip, your apps you can put in, sounds.
Whoa.
I'm really wanting to do this right on my phone. Screw the computer. I want to do it right on my phone.
This has everything.
Yeah, this is really, really neat.
Wow.
Have you read much about it, or that you can cover on it?
Do you want me to say yes? It's great. I love it. I have like 40 ROM. No, I never had a chance.
Yeah.
But it is the kind of thing I don't care. I'm going to stay up till 4 a.m. because nothing beats you getting what you want. I mean, you know, you can truly customize your ROM. And with this /m link, which I didn't know existed, you can do it from your mobile phone. You can do it on your, you know, this is like a, you know, like, can't think of the right word. My mind's so blown. You can make a ROM, HTML viewer, Gmail, FM radio app. You can pick to have none of this on your phone by default. MMS, right. Music player, press reader, the Samsung app, Street View, voice search. This is really quite unbelievable, I gotta say. And I love what it says on their on the forums page. When how I first saw it, it says special edition ROMs are so yesterday. We're proud to unveil our largest project yet, ROM Kitchen. Now you too can modify your ROM to create precisely what you need. You know, it's like the Burger King of Android ROMs.
Make it your way.
Only it won't give you a heart attack and put weight on you.
Exactly. See, and this weekend, I think, Dor, you ran that Apex from Fab or Fabulous, whatever the heck his name is. And I ran it for a little while, and I think it was, 1.9.5 that he had out. I had it on there. It's a really nice ROM, but then, you know, reading all over, he says, oh, I'm done developing, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what he's whining about. But he said he's going to stop. He was done. So I blew it away, and I used other things. Well, he just put out a 2.0 alpha. So, whoa. Did you try it?
No, I didn't. The only reason I haven't tried Apex in a while is I believe Apex was one of the few blurless ROMs that didn't support my HDMI out.
He actually does. He does both. He does blur and blurless.
Oh, well then I'm going to probably give it a wing.
Because I know in the alpha he just says you can do this for the blur and this for the blurless. So
cool.
That's what I remember. He does both.
Blurless.
Yeah.
Go blurless, baby.
Exactly. Bloatless, as I call it.
That's cool, Josh. This is one of the coolest things for Android that has come down the line, I'd say.
Yeah, I was pretty excited. I think I saw it, and within 2 seconds I sent it to Dor because I was pretty excited.
Yep.
Oh crap! My kids might be coming in. Anyhow, they'll be loud. I'll make them be quiet.
It's okay.
Another one I have is. Have you guys talked? I didn't check the sheet. Have you guys talked about the Team Black Hat app?
Team Black Hat? I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Okay, you guys know who P3 Droid is, right? Over at mydroidworld.net forums.
No.
Basically,
nope.
Okay, for example, when Gingerbread came out, the Team Black Hat, basically what they are is they take the ROMs that basically get open source, or not the ROMs, the Android that gets open source. They take the source and they hammer on it, and they hammer on it, and they hammer on it, and they just basically just drink caffeine and hammer on the code. And I think within 2 days, or maybe I think it's 2 days of the Gingerbread getting released, the code they had. Remember, Dor, when the first release came out for Gingerbread on the Droid X, was talking about it.
Oh, right.
Yes, that came from them.
Gotcha.
And then the DxO, or however you pronounce it, the DxO, DD thing.
Right.
Yeah, they put that out. I mean, it was within the next day they had a DxO, then they had it. I mean, it was just day after day after day. And every time something comes out, when I had my Android phone, that's what anything from P3 Droid and those guys, I was running their stuff before I got into Steel Droid. Well, they put out this Team Black Hat app, and I just noticed it's not in the market. I don't know, somebody pulled it, probably the name, and somebody freaked out.
Probably.
But if you go to mydroidworld.net, I'm not going to go to it right now because I don't want to mess with the Skype, but you can use the QR code and you scan it and grab it. But they do have a paid one. And please, if you go there and get the paid app, those guys put in a lot of time. Those guys do things, and it filters out to JRummy, it filters out to Chevy Cam, it filters out to Apex, filters out to everybody. So by you supporting them, you're supporting more than just one ROM. You're supporting a whole lot of guys. These guys grab the Google code and just beat on it until they get something out of it, and then they feed us.
So they're like the source.
For a lot of people, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and I'll say it was like literally, I mean, honestly, I'm not lying. 8 o'clock one night, I saw a thing in my RSS feed that said gingerbread leaked from Motorola. The next morning at like noon is when I saw it available to download. And that's what I downloaded, put on my Droid. It's still not available for Droid people who don't root in ROM. You're still running Froyo, you slackers. I got gingerbread, and I gotta say, there's parts of it that I don't think I could go without. I seriously don't. Like the notification list and having the little minus sign next to each individual notification. So when I wake up in the morning and there's 25 notifications, I can selectively get rid of a couple, go to work, and I still have the rest when I'm at work.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Here's just an example here. If you just search P3 Droid, just in Google, you'll pull up. I mean, he's got a lot. Oh, it's mydroidworld.com. Sorry, guys, it's not .net.com. In that place, you got My Droid World. If you go to forums.com, one of the ones that always usually try and leak a lot of the stuff, almost all of them, they always link back to My Droid World. I don't know why My Droid World hasn't caught on more, but a lot of the real hacking stuff that P3 Droid and those Team Black Hat guys reside there. But the P3 Droid is, it's p3designs.info/kernels. I ran those kernels on my Moto Droid, and I think I had it, I remember right, I think I had it up to 1.2 or 1.3. Let's see. It's 1.25. Had my my phone overclocked to 1.25, and some of the other kernels you'd use them and you'd overclock it and it would get bad. It'd get real buggy. I mean, after a while your phone's just smoking hot. Couldn't hardly use it. And I don't know what he does different, man, but he does a good job, because I could run that at 1.25 and it's going to get warm. No matter what you do, it's going to get a little bit hot. I mean, your CPU's cranking. But overall, it really wasn't that bad. I could run it for a while. I didn't have to reboot my phone very often, to fix things. It was a good, clean kernel. So if you ever need a kernel, you can go in there. He's got kernels for Android 2.1, 2.2. I don't think he has a 2.3 yet. No 2.3 on his site there. But standard voltage, low voltage, I mean, good stuff there. Yeah, it's just another little thing there for you guys to check out.
Awesome. It's mydroidworld.com.
Yeah, that's where all the forums are. That's where their blog posts are. Basically, if you see P3 Droid put something out, it's solid.
P3 Droid?
P3 Droid. I follow him on Twitter, too. Him and Team Black Hat.
Yeah, and I'll say anybody can call me a nerd, a dork, a dweeb, a Lennox Sweeney, whatever. I see in their forums for P3 Droid, they have stuff with EX2 support.
Yeah. Which
I'm 90% sure means I can technically then load Ubuntu on my device.
Oh, wow.
I think that's where, when we was talking about a while back, that's where I found some of the Debian package. It's the .deb. Right. It was on My Droid World, yeah. They got good stuff on there.
That looks like a cool place to check out. Their site is badass looking, too.
It is. They redid it a while back. It was kind of cheesy looking, but it looks real good now.
Yeah.
I guess the last thing I was going to bring up is everybody talks about your Dropbox. I never heard anybody talk about Spider Oak. Have you guys even heard about that?
Spider Oak?
Yeah.
Spider Oak, like the tree.
Oak. Gotcha.
Spider Oak, one of the things about them, like with the encryption, is they talk about a lot, basically if you lose your password, if you lose access to your data, you're screwed because they don't have it. That's pretty much how they put it. One of the links, I love you go to a site, and not to get off on Linux, but this is why I like Arch Linux so much, is because it's all about clean code engineering, over and over. That's all you hear about. If you can't figure it out, then, sorry. But right on the side of Spider Oak, it says engineering matters, nuts and bolts. Simply speaking, in terms of technical proficiency, there exists a dramatic difference between Spider Oak and other backup systems. You know, that's their claim, but right there, you just go into these different things, and I read about it, and I set up an account, haven't used it yet, but all that I read about them, they are supposed to be one of the more secure ones. They're supposed to be a little bit better on the engineering security side. And they do have an Android app now. They didn't a while ago, but they do now.
I didn't know they had one.
Yeah. Yep.
Very cool. Can't remember who brought this up before, but I recognized the logo. It must have been a while back. It was like Liam or something. No, I don't even know if it was on this show.
I honestly think it was on Nuts at Night.
Yeah. Spider Oak. It looks cool. Yeah, these guys look like they're taking a little bit of a different approach and just being like, we're awesome and here's why.
Exactly. You know, they don't make no bones about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll add, it isn't difficult for these applications to make themselves secure. All they got to do is give you ownership of the private encryption key and let you encrypt before you upload. And they can do it all in the GUI, make it seamless for you as an end user. The only reason not to do it is because either you're lazy or you don't want to. You want to be good buddies with Uncle Sam, that is.
All right, but thank you all, guys. Let me throw some apps at you and see what you think. See if I'm ridiculed out of the place. Let me see here. There we go. Okay, I'm looking for a car. I've been looking for a car. I was actually interested in getting a Mustang, and I was really close last week to getting a black Mustang convertible. Now, before you say, "Oh man, where are you getting all this money?" No, it was a 2010. It was not a GT. It was a 6-cylinder. And it was pretty cheap. And the fact that I live in Florida means that's just, I just want to have a convertible. I mean, why not? I drive around all day and I go, why not have a convertible? So I'm at least going to try a convertible once in my life. And I think it's going to be a Mustang. Anyway, so I've been looking at cars and I want a fast way to find cars. Well, okay, it's a big company, whatever, but cars.com just has a really nice app. It's just simple and all the dealerships in the area use it. And I like it's clean. It's fast. It does the job. I do a search. Let's see. I'm on 3G here, too. I'm not even on my Wi-Fi. So there we go. It's already input Ford, Mustang, search for cars. Let's see how long that takes. And bam. Got a whole listing of cars from all the local dealerships in my area. I picked a 30-mile radius. So there's like cars I could look at literally down the street that are fit in here. Wait, that looks like a new one. I didn't see that one yet.
Getting all excited.
Yeah.
Cut the show short, huh?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I'm enjoying it, and I actually did, based off of this app, I was in a certain area, and I was close to a dealership, and I went to that dealership, took the car for a test drive, and was actually close to considering buying it, but I ended up not buying it. And I took it out. She's like, I'm like, can I test drive? She's like, yeah, just take it up the street just a little bit, and then can bring it back. So I took it out on the street, and I floored it instantly, just to see what it had. And the 6 cylinders move okay, but I could tell if it was a GT, I probably would have, it would have just been like much, much faster. Anyway, this is a good app, and it's done the job for me, so I can't complain about it.
I can tell you one thing I always do every time I buy a vehicle.
Yeah.
Do a brake stand. As crazy as that sounds,
Yep.
if they can't light it up, if they can't show a little bit of power, they're wore out.
Really?
He's right.
That's my
I
opinion.
did the same thing.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Yeah.
as soon as I got this newest car, it's a stick shift, so it's kind of hard to do a brake stand. You can, but it's really hard. The first thing I did, I nailed it and I tried it, drive it into the ground, and then I did the opposite. I went down a road where I know there was nobody going, and I went 45 miles an hour, and I took both feet and I slammed on the brakes too.
Yep. Exactly.
I want to make sure the car can stop when I need it to stop.
That's interesting.
That's my
and
mom
fun.
with me when I went and bought my last truck, and she thought I was insane because as soon as I left the parking lot of the dealership, I went just maybe not even a quarter mile away. Stop, brakes, hit the gas, tires just light up, no problem. Went down the road, hit the highway. I think I had it up to 120 or 130. And I did that because I wanted to see if I had a governor that worked. No governor. Brake stand worked. No governor. I was good to go.
Yeah, but you had already bought the car. Oh no, this was during a test drive.
Yeah, it's my test drive.
That's so funny.
Yeah,
They
here's the
would
whole
have freaked
thing.
out. Yeah.
If there's a zombie apocalypse, you got to make sure your car can perform.
This car, I don't. It had some power. It probably could have done what do you call it, a brake stand. It probably could have done one, but it wasn't enough. I really want an upgrade from my car, and that's not enough of an upgrade for me. So we'll see what happens with that. I'll keep my eye on this app and see if we can find anything closer, because that place was like half an hour away. Here's a cool app, Glimpse. We didn't go over Glimpse yet.
No, I've seen it more than a couple times. I don't know what it is.
It's pretty neat. It is a way to send somebody your location, but not Google Latitude, here's where I am at all times. You set a time limit for how long they can see where you are, and then after that time limit, you're gone. So like if I wanted to send Door my location for 15 minutes, I could do it with Glimpse, and it's pretty cool. It's just like a Google map. You pull up the menu here, and it says send Glimpse. I send Glimpse. Let me try it. I'm going to send it to Door right now. So Door. Oops, spelled it wrong. Door, okay. I'm going to do it through your mobile. And then there's a big button that says, blue says send Glimpse. Press that. Enter the nickname you would like to show others when you send a glimpse. Let me just put in podnutz here. Okay. And there it goes. It's sending. So Door will see my location for, I think, 15 minutes, and then he'll have no idea where I am. So it's pretty cool if you're like, you don't want to sacrifice all of your privacy, but you want to say, meet us at the party. Here's where we're at, or something like that, Or this place has a great sale going on now. Check it out. I'm here now. Whatever you want to use it for. But I thought it was pretty cool. It's a good idea. It's free. Next one. How Door described this, I don't know if I want to put it in those exact words because I might say it wrong, but it brought him back to his prepubescent stage of life. This one did the same thing for me, and it's called paper plane folding, and it's basically it's got about 10 or 11 different ways to make paper planes. I picture Door doing this at work right now as we speak.
I did see it, and I ain't gonna lie, I was getting itchy.
Yeah, there's easy, normal, and advanced planes. This one's called Glider Superb. That sounds like a good one. The instructions, it's very easy. It does have an ad at the top because it's free, but it's very easy. The pictures are great. It's easy to follow along. You tell it what you want to make, or it shows you how to make it, how to fold it, gives you little instructions, and it's pretty damn slick. I used to love. Okay. I used to love making paper planes when I was young. You like what, Russ? Is it something about my app, or did somebody say something in the chat room?
No. I just picture you alone in your apartment with your cat making paper airplanes, and it's like,
and it's like what?
Not the old widower playing with his plane.
I don't know how bored I'd have to be.
No,
before I started doing that. Some
people, I don't get giddy and then just jump on the couch and be like, it's paper airplane night. No, I just remember when I used to make paper airplanes when I was young, and honestly, Russ, I haven't made one off this app yet. But next one I do, I'm sending it to you. Signing it.
I do remember going to concerts at the Spectrum in Philly and making paper airplanes and launching them off the second level.
Really?
That was fun.
What, at the other team while they're playing hockey?
These were rock concerts.
Okay.
In my mid-pubescent age.
What were you going to say, Door?
Here's the golden question I got for you.
Yeah.
Did you actually just go through and just look at all the different types of planes you could make?
Yeah. I didn't make one yet.
Was there any that resembled, the only way I can honestly say it, a crown?
Oh, you're talking about UFO. I remember that one.
I don't know if it's called UFO.
I know exactly what you're talking. It's a circle, and you fold it up a bunch of times at the end, and then you connect the two ends together. And
that's the one that has the world record for distance.
That one does really?
Because the gimmick is you have to get the proper weight balance ratio, so you don't fold it up too far, you don't fold it up not enough, and you get it just right. And if you hold it between your fingers just right and just gently do it, it will barely lose any altitude and go forward.
That's amazing. That was the hardest one I used to make when I was a kid. I had a book of them, and that was the hardest one in it, and I could never get that one to fly right, but I always wanted to make that one. It's called the UFO. How far did it go, world record?
I want to honestly say it was something like 200 feet. And the gimmick, and the gimmick is you have to do it 2 directions. You have to go one direction, then go from that direction back the opposite direction, and they take
Average.
the middle of the 2. Yeah.
It's pretty neat.
Yeah, because I know in my high school gym, I was able to like stand on top of the pommel horse because I ain't doing no athletics, and let it go, and it easily went to the other side of the gym and hit the wall.
Oh, so you made a perfect one.
Wow.
Well, because honestly, what I used to do was literally fold it up, see how it went, draw a line where the fold stopped, unfold it, take another piece of paper, and go like a little bit less or a little bit more, and then see the reaction. Because I was a little ADD,
No.
We all are. And
I've lived such a sheltered life.
Russ, you gotta make some paper airplanes, man. Let loose.
Yeah.
I was so bored in calculus class that I did 2 things. Number 1 is I memorized pi to 75 decimal places because it was written across the top of the classroom, all around across the walls. And then I recited it back to the teacher one day, and he actually got mad because then he realized what I was doing all day in class. The second one was we all had to have like TI 81 graphing calculators in class. We all had to have them. And these things ran basic and they were programmable. So I made a program. It was called Face Maker, and you actually created a face and it would animate. Again, I showed the teacher. They're all like, all the other students are like, you gotta show the teacher. So I showed him that. Again, he got pissed off. So it was a no-win situation. My last app is one that I'm going to pull a Steve D here. I have not. I did install it and run it, and I don't know what it does. It's called Number Saver, but it sounds like it's really useful. And I read the description, and I read the reviews, and people love this thing, but I'm not 100% sure what it does, so you can figure it out. It's something about saving a phone number and allowing you to redial it. I think it saves the last phone number you called on your clipboard, so you can easily paste it in places. I think that's what it does. I'm not 100% sure. But,
yeah, and it puts it in your notification menu too, which that can be pretty cool.
Oh, cool. Good. Well, at least somebody knows what it does. That sounded neat. All right, let's go over to some Android news, and we have one email to read. So who wants to bring some news? I thought you had some. Or Russ? Anybody?
Well, I do, but I didn't want to step on their toes.
Okay. Who wants to go? Speak up.
Go, Dor.
So I guess they don't have any. Okay. I'm going to save the worst for last. Okay. First, Android is propped I think it's within a month and a half to overtake the number of free apps from the Apple Store.
Seriously?
So in less than 2 months, I think it said, and actually it was something like 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks, Android would have more free apps than the Apple App Store trademark, restriction, copyright, name, place that I can't say. The app place. So yet another reason to basically not get a iWhat.
You think Apple saw this coming in the early Android stages?
To a degree, but to a degree they don't care.
They must not. They would have had to be on all carriers for them to compete and build up as much steam as Android.
Well, okay, here's the gimmick. We know they're only at most like 12, 13% of the market, okay? They revenued more money than Microsoft and Google this past quarter because their profit margins are so freaking high. You know, they take a 50-cent can of Coke, Steve Jobs spits on it, and all of a sudden it's worth $200. Their margin of profit is phenomenal, and they're genius at it. They're genius at it. They don't need to be the mass player to win. That's the golden genius part about their whole business. They can be second, third fiddle and still be silly rich.
Good point.
But I do think this is going to really kind of irk Jobs's goat kind of thing.
What?
Make it like hemorrhoids act up. That, you know, that the Android market's going to have more free apps. And I believe that's not going to steer new owners. It's going to steer current owners to tell new owners, wait. You might want this because of that.
I see what you're saying.
Just my belief. Google Maps, honestly, I want to say they put out 2 updates this last week. I don't know what either of them did until I saw this article on Gizmodo that says now you can tell Google Maps for Android when they've got the address wrong. Your GPS in your backpack doesn't have that option. So when you get to a place and you find out this ain't the right place, it's actually back 200 feet, you can now do your part and feed back correct information so the next time someone goes, they'll be at the right address. That to me is just a simple admonishment. I don't know if that's the right word either. That Google wants people to give feedback and give information back.
Where'd you come up with that one?
I don't know.
That is a word, but it means to warn.
It is.
It means to warn. Is that a warning? Did you mean to use it?
Yeah, I guess not.
It sounded great. Sorry I had to ruin it. By the way, you have 5 minutes to get my location before your glimpse is up.
Oh, I already saw it.
Okay.
I saw it, but I didn't want to show it on the camera.
All right, that's cool.
Because it's a hideout.
Can I say something quick while we're talking about Google Maps?
Absolutely.
Does anybody else really not like this swivel feature that they have on Google Maps now? My maps, every time I try to zoom in, it can't get straightened out.
No, I had the same problem.
Is there a way to turn that off?
Back? How to get it back? In the upper left-hand corner, there's a little compass. Tap that compass, and it will go back to north is north.
I don't even want the option. I want north to be up and down. I don't like the swivel. Not digging that swivel.
Maybe with Kitchen ROM you can fix it, but I don't know of a way to do it inside of the map application. I'll take a peek at it though, see if I figure it out. But yeah, that's the thing with the Google Maps. I'll say certain things of it I think are great, and then other things of it I don't like. I don't like the 2-finger drag and expand the universe. Ooh, where's my 3D glasses for my phone? I don't like that viewpoint on the world.
I see.
I mean, just me. Now we're getting into the bad news area. The Asus Transformer, the tablet tickling my fancy. Tickle. Okay, it's the $400 10-inch Android honeycomb tablet that docks into a keyboard with a touchpad and has a battery in the keyboard, and it makes it a 16-hour tablet when it's connected, 8-hour when it's not connected. They're hitting serious hurdles that they're not explaining. They were estimating to ship 300,000 Transformers a month. This thing literally just got released like less than a week and a half ago. Well, they're only able to ship 10,000 a month because of some kind of shortage people are speculating. So literally some places are taking your orders and taking your pre-orders and then 4 days later calling you back telling you that they refunded your money.
Oh, man. Super lame.
That is going to... I smell doom this tablet from being popular and successful, even if it might be a great price, a great feel, a great processor, and a great functioning device. I think this is going to doom it.
You think?
Unless they fix it in less than a month, I don't see it changing, because the Nintendo Wii and the Apple I, whatever the hell it is, can have shortages and people will still be after them, lusting after them. That's because they already have name recognition before they have a shortage. No normal person has heard of the Asus Transformer. So no one is like waiting and scintillating for it. It's just they don't know about it, and now they're not going to know about it.
Right. All right. Well, let's see what happens. I hope you get one, Dor.
Trust me, I would love to get a tablet. Other quick side note, Android Injector, Windows only application. Okay. You can inject into your device applications that are not installable by your market due to restrictions. I.e., I have a Color Nook that's hacked. I cannot install tablet applications on it. because the market ID says this is not a tablet computer. So you can't install tablet apps, period.
I see.
You use this application, Android Injector, EXE, plug it up, USB, bang, boom. You can inject that tablet application on your device. Which brings the Nook back into a possibility of might buying. But I really would like to have that, the Google experience. Dare I sound like Gina Trapani? But I like that. Okay. Now to the worst news of the night, Steve.
Uh-oh.
Google bows to carrier pressure on Android tethering apps. Google has pulled, or is getting ready to pull, because I didn't look today, every tethering application off the market, bar none.
Wi-Fi's gone.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi tether is gone, yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And supposedly now I've heard of two people in their own voices kind of thing say they've been contacted by their employer. Like, I have a phone through my work kind of situation. I've been contacted by my employer, and they told me I better stop tethering the phone or else we're going to get charged more money. Over on Entelos Droid, we were talking about this. There are sneaky, dirty, sneaky, deep packet inspection ways carriers can look at your packets, your information, and tell whether or not you're tethering. And if you are, wouldn't shock me if next month you get your bill, there's an extra charge on it for cause you were tethering.
No kidding.
I think that's the route it's ultimately heading, is these carriers wanting to utterly lock down, restrict, and give the asterisk in unlimited a whole new meaning to you can't tether. I don't care who you are. And if the carriers pressure Google enough, Google has the power to go into your phone and kill an app. I don't think that's going to happen. I honestly don't. And everybody has this power, okay? You have a BlackBerry, RIM can do it. You have an iPhone, Apple can do it. You have a Palm Pre, nobody can do it because nobody has a Palm Pre. And Google can do it into Android, and nobody cares about Windows Phone 7 Series, Mobile Series phone. So I don't even mention it. So this is bad. To me, this is really bad.
I don't see Sprint's name in the article.
I don't either, because Sprint is the true unlimited. They don't care.
Yeah, they need all the help they can get at this point.
Hey, right now, if all things were equal and my name tomorrow was Juan and I wasn't married and kids and had family members that dragged me down, I would go and get a Sprint phone tomorrow just because of their plan. I would.
It's interesting to know that.
Verizon, you know.
All right. For those of you not watching, Doris holding his forehead,
I know.
his head.
I'm gonna pull Lalo and just say I digress, because I don't want to say anything bad. I've already said enough.
It's all right.
I'm just going to drink my Mr. Pibb.
Drink Mr. Pibb. Does anybody else have any other news? Russ or Josh?
I do not. It has to be Android related, right?
What are you thinking of?
I hope you're not pregnant.
Josh,
I don't have any Android related news.
Yeah, no, man, I'm good.
Okay.
Actually, I did want to bring up, I'm sorry, one last app just because it supports somebody from the community. Has anybody got the 1UP Mario Mushroom installed?
No.
Yeah. Caleb Foltz. You know what I'm talking about.
I know Caleb. He might be on he's going to be on the show next week, in fact.
Nice. Real good. We put out the 1UP Mario Mushroom. Really, it's nothing super fancy, super cool, but I mean, who doesn't love Nintendo? Who doesn't love Mario? My phone, the way it's set up right now, I've got this little, like a wood background to it. I've got the Zeme launcher, and I've got it set up so that the dock on the bottom is see-through. I have no top bar on there at all. All you see on my phone is just like a wood finish. I've got that 1UP Mario Mushroom right dead in the center of it, and I've got that real nice clean dock on the bottom. My wife actually looked at my phone. She said, "Wow, that looks really good."
It's a clock. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't say that.
It's a 1UP Mario Mushroom clock. I got it up on the screen now. Look at
Well,
that.
you know, honestly, it could not even look like a clock. Just the simple fact that I have that 1UP Mario Mushroom right dead center of my phone just friggin' rocks.
That does
Love
rock.
It's super nice.
Way to go, Caleb. Man, that's a killer app.
Yeah, another useful app from Caleb, so keep him coming, man. He does a good job.
He also has Power Up Mario Mushroom. Is that the clock too? Yeah, that's a carrot clock too.
Right, because there's one up green, power up red.
There you go.
Exactly.
Sweet. All right, hopefully he'll come and talk about this and his other creation. He's got a bunch of them. His other creations.
Dude, he has a Duff beer can.
Yes, he does.
Drinking toasts.
That's fantastic.
And we mustn't forget the Android App Addicts app that he did.
Yep.
Thank you, Caleb. Good stuff, man.
That's all I got.
Super awesome. Thank you, Josh. Russ, go ahead and tell us your non-Android news. I'm in mystery now. What is it?
Oh, they got Osama bin Laden.
This is why Russ is on the show, guys.
Yeah.
Actually, I didn't have any news. I was just asking, does it have to be Android?
Let me read an email now.
Okay.
We got, let's see here. Jeremy says, if you happen to, it's a guy named Jeremy. I don't know what email he sent it to, mail@podnutz.com. He must have saw somehow that we do an Android show, and he's got an app called Today in Geek History. And it looks like a very, how can I say, his email is not specific or, to me, it's like a standard. He looks like he made a form email here and sent it out to a bunch of guys. But we're all geeks, so if anybody is interested in the app, I thought it might be a good thing to talk about. It's at, let's punch it up. I didn't even punch it up. Today in Greek history, his name is Jebs, or the company's name is JebsApps.llc. Oh, it's 99 cents. Didn't know that. But anyway.
They do have a free version.
Okay, yeah, you're right. They do. Check it out. It actually looks pretty decent. Give you a nice little geek fact every day about what happened that day. Not a bad idea for an app.
I think the guy in the Podnutz TeamSpeak room had this because yesterday he said, "Do you know the geek fact of today?" And I'm sitting there like, I don't know. I don't know. And he said, Star Wars came out.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. All right, well, there you go. That's an email, and that is from JebsApps.com. JebsApps.com. There you go. There's your plug. And that's it for the emails. If you want to send us emails, can you tell we need them? Send them to mail@podnutz.com. If you want to send us a voicemail, which I don't think people are dialing phones anymore, guys. I honestly don't think so. So I might have to do a different way to do voicemails. You can call a regular phone number, 7076-PODNUTS. Dial it on those buttons on your phone. That's how you make phone calls. And we will play that on the show as well and discuss it. And that is that, as they say. Let's wrap it up here, guys. Dora, what would you like to say to end off the show? Anything, last comments?
I really do like ham. But if you go to doorgeek.com, one of the things I got to say is I finally put in a contact feedback part. It's up in the upper right-hand corner. So if you want to contact me based upon something I said on the website, now you can go do that. So feel free, hit me off. If there's something I covered that wasn't clear or you just have a question about something, go ahead. And just a quick mention, Podnutz forums, Podnutz shows, Android App Addict show picks. That's a link to a Google Docs spreadsheet of every app we've ever picked, and we're up to 392 applications.
Woohoo! Thank you. You keep that up, don't you, Dor?
As we're doing this show. Now, I'm just going to say real quick, to make the one guy happy, because you know I like making people happy, all the applications listed on the show, root uninstaller, trial extreme demo, Astrid task to do textless, WordPress, Walala, WUALA, Steel Droid, ROM Kitchen, Team Black Hat, Spider Oak, Cars.com, Glimpse, Paper Plane Folding, Number Saver, One Up, Mario, Mushroom Clock, and Today in Geek History Light.
I like that little summary. Thank you, Dor.
Awesome.
No problem.
Definitely check out
Lewis show notes.
Ross is giving me a hard time. Definitely check out Door's website, guys. It's new, it's fresh, it's the mind of Door. We all want to know what's going on in there. Russ, thank you for joining the show. Russ is from the techiegeek.com. Anything else you want to mention, Russ?
Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Yes, I realized that today, and I'm not really going to be doing anything about it. Lalo,
never celebrated it before.
Yeah, Lalo did point out a fact that people mistake it for the day that Mexico declared independence, but it's actually only a day they won a major battle in whatever war they were fighting. So it's not really their Independence Day.
When I was a kid, I thought it had something to do with mayonnaise. So,
Ross, any last comments besides that?
No.
Okay. Well, thanks for coming on the show, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It was fun. We'll do this again, and I'll be prepared because you'll have invited me in advance.
I would exactly. I will invite you in advance, but you kind of saved my butt tonight, so I appreciate it.
Not a problem.
So did you, Josh, and thank you, Door, for contacting Josh. Josh, what would you like to say before we end off the show?
Check out Caleb Foltz's apps. He does a good job. That's about it.
Cool. Well, again, thank all you guys on the show. Thank everybody who's watching and listening and streaming. That's going to be it for Android App Addicts for this week, and we'll see you next time.